Hey everybody, welcome to my back porch. I'm having coffee and water. Just wanted to give everyone an update on life right now. Because I realized I haven't posted for like 2 months. Sorry. Nothing really has changed in general. I am healthy most of the time. I do get stomach bugs from time to time. I think it's mainly because of food-related things. So I'm still trying to figure out like what food am I eating that's making me sick. But it's usually not too bad. It's just I feel a little nauseous and that's it. And then the next morning I'm fine. It is currently really hot. I am outside, which doesn't really help. But like, I got this cool little patio, and I don't use it very often. It's just like, it's not the worst out today. I might as well sit on my patio and make a video. So yesterday it was mid to upper 90s in Fahrenheit for all you Fahrenheit watchers. If you're a Celsius person, I don't know. That's something that's been a struggle to get used to. Everyone's like, oh, it's 37 degrees today. I'm like, I don't know what that is. But yesterday it was mid-90s and 91% humidity at the highest humidity during the day. It was brutal. It was partially because it was raining a little bit too, so that certainly ups the humidity level. So life in Cambodia during this whole coronavirus thing, it's changed a lot, mainly because we don't have any teams coming in, and we're not going to have any for this foreseeable future. So we've kind of been like, our teams were sent home early. Our last team got here, and then we're here for about 5 or 6 days, if that even. I think it was less than that. And then they went home, got recalled, which was, at the time we were like, oh, that's a bummer, like, I wish they could have stayed longer. Looking back, this is 100% the right decision. Otherwise it would have been very, very difficult to get them home if they stayed much later than they did. So it was for sure the right decision. I think looking back on it, they would all agree. So we haven't had a team. My landlord has asked that all of us stay inside, or stay in the apartment area as much as possible. And it looks like he's gonna start relaxing a little bit more on that, which I'm happy for. So I'll be able to go out and like meet people. But I try and get out at least once a day, go on a walk around the neighborhood. It's made ministry kind of difficult. So I was sitting here for like 3 weeks being like, what in the world am I supposed to be doing for ministry if I can't really go out? I want to respect my landlord and his wishes, because his family lives here in the complex, so I understand, I get it. So I want to respect his wishes, but how do I do ministry? So then a thought occurred to me a couple weeks ago, like, I don't know my neighbors at all. So I've been trying to get to know my neighbors a lot more during this time, just talking to them down in the Commons pool area. Just get to know them. There's a couple from England, a couple from New Zealand, who's actually friends with teammates of mine. There was a couple from France who lived like directly next door to me. They moved out. I didn't get to know them very well. They didn't speak English very well, or were uncomfortable speaking English. I think their English was fine, but they were uncomfortable with it. So that's kind of been what I've been trying to do. I've been editing a podcast for Parker Hills. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I'll stick a link on the Facebook page to the playlist. You can see that. I'm almost done with the second interview That hopefully will be up soon. I just send it to Jim and he puts it up. But it'll be done soon. That's been really cool. I've really enjoyed doing that. That's been a lot of fun. It gives me something to do during the day. Because all the schools and churches here are closed. So language school's been happening online. And obviously churches happen online as well. So they just opened up. You can have religious gatherings with 10 people or less. So we started a small group meeting together again, which has been awesome and much needed. Yeah, what else? There's not a whole lot else. I think that's mostly it. Language has been really cool. Really cool. Doing it online is tough. Started reading and writing, which look up Khmer writing at some point. It's nothing like English really. There's consonants and vowels, but they don't work the same. Vowels modify the consonants. So the consonant is like a one-syllable word essentially, ending in O or ending in aw, with a hard sound at the beginning. And the vowels change that ending sound, whether it's O or aw. But depending on whether the consonant is an O or an aw, it changes the sound that the vowel has too. So it's been really cool. It sounds kind of confusing, and it can be, but it's a lot of fun. But doing that online is easy. I have a little whiteboard that I use and a dry erase marker, so I can like write and hold it up, and my teacher can look at it and check it and everything like that. So that's not bad. The hard part is the listening. So he'll send me a conversation audio that the school has of two people having a conversation. And then I listen to it, and then we walk through it. They use a lot of slang, which is a struggle, because the words that make up the slang, there's usually not a very good direct translation into English. So it's more like, here's these two words that are actually like a whole concept, not just a word or a phrase. I learned that there's a word, I can't remember off the top of my head, I'd have to go and look, but there is a word for calling somebody so that they have your number and then hanging up right away, which we don't really, that's just what we call it. We just call it calling somebody so they have your number. Or we usually just send them a text, right? They don't send a text, they would just call and then hang up right away. I think part of the reason for that is you have to pay by the minute, typically, for phone calls. So if they call and hang up right away, then it wouldn't cost them very much. And I'm not sure how much text messages are in terms of minutes, but most people here text on WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, just because then it doesn't cost anything. But yeah, that's been a struggle because internet might be bad, or the audio is a little quiet, and then just the fact that there's a lot of slang, but you have to learn it over an internet, like instead of person to person. That's been kind of tough. So there's just like a lot of, and that's the main hard part is there's slang. And I'm like, I know all these words, but they're put together and I don't understand what they mean. And that's the biggest struggle with it so far. So I can make sentences and like put stuff together and like have a conversation with people, but as soon as there's any slang thrown in, I feel like I'm really lost. So that's been the hard part about language. So hopefully, there hasn't been a new case of corona, according to the U.S. Embassy. There hasn't been a new case of corona for like a month, maybe a little more, I think, at this point, in Cambodia. And I think there are no active cases. I believe there was an email the other day that said there's no active cases, which is awesome. So in terms of prayer requests, just be praying that stays the same. We don't want active cases. I've had firsthand, if you haven't heard about my firsthand experience with Cambodian medical, go read my last blog that I did at nathanborntrager.myadventures.org. It kind of like summarizes the whole first couple months of the year, and my experiences. But yeah, so if you get corona, you have to go to a provincial hospital, which aren't really the best ever, to say the least. And then they send, if you have corona, or they test you, they send that test to Phnom Penh, the capital, to be run, and then they get back in, I don't know how long it is. I imagine it's a couple hours. It's at least 6 hours, because that's how long it takes to get Phnom Penh. And then you have to be treated at that provincial hospital. But they won't test you unless you have all of the symptoms. So if you have like 1 or 2 symptoms, they won't test you. And then the other hospitals won't accept you if they think you have corona, which is kind of a bummer. So if you think you have corona or you have something else, then you have to go to that provincial hospital essentially, unless it's like, I don't know, a broken bone or something like that. I don't know. But so it's been kind of a struggle for the people of Cambodia. So be praying for that. This trend continues, that there's no cases. They just started. There was a couple countries that were on the banned admissions list that couldn't make it into the country. The U.S. was one of those. Those have been lifted, I believe. However, you need to have a negative coronavirus test that was taken 72 hours before your departure if you're coming to Cambodia. So it's still, which is next to impossible just to get that just to have. It's still, things are not going to get, and that's, tourism is a huge part of Siem Reap's industry. That's like their main thing is tourism, because of Angkor Wat. This is a big tourist destination. It's taken a hit. A lot of the tuk-tuk drivers won't have a fare all day, and are making very little money. So my teammates have been doing, I hope to join them soon, assuming my landlord says, yeah, you can go outside, and just because there hasn't been cases. He's going to start relaxing that soon and say, yes, it's fine, you can go out now. I hope to join them, but they've been buying rice and eggs, and some other various things, and taking them to partnering with churches in the area and taking them to people and handing them out, or outside a hospital a hotel, for some of the tuk-tuk drivers and their families and stuff, just to help them out, because they're not making money to buy food right now. They're lucky if they get a fare a day. Fare a day, by the way, depending on how far you're going, is usually $1 to $2, maybe $3. Kind of depends on what you're doing. So it's been a struggle for them. So hopefully, with everything getting relaxed here, we'll be able to go out and do that again. So just be praying that. Be praying for me personally. For homesickness has been tough. I get homesick a lot. Not necessarily it kind of varies from time to time on what I'm homesick homesick for. A lot of times it's cold weather. A lot of times it's I want to see the mountains, or dry weather, or it's not humid. My friends at Parker Hills, shout out to you guys if you're watching. I miss you guys, family, obviously, etc. And then with my godfather and my grandma passing away, it's been a struggle the last couple weeks for sure for homesickness. So yeah, just be praying for me in that, and then continuing praying for health. That's been kind of a worry for me now too. Like if tonsillitis comes back and I need to get them removed, right now I can't go to Thailand because the borders are shut. Thailand's closed. So I can't go to Thailand to get it done. So if I have to get it done, I have to go to Phnom Penh, which isn't ideal. But, it is what it is. So, but that's just been no worry for me. So be praying for me in that as well. Hopefully soon. I think that's all the main things. And just be praying too for just direction during this time. Like, what all should we be doing? We knew there was going to be a time soon when we have an extended period of time without teams. It was going to be from June to December, where we didn't have teams. So that's just come a little bit earlier. So just be praying for us for direction on like what is our overall ministry goal. Obviously sharing the gospel is the overall ministry goal, but like how do we go about doing that? What method do we use? Because street evangelism doesn't necessarily work here. It's building the relationships, and making those friends and having those inroads. That's the thing that makes a difference, and then being able to share the gospel through that. So just be praying for us and how direction on how we can do that, how we can build those relationships and build those inroads with people. So I think that's it. I feel like there was one other thing I was going to say, but I can't remember what it was. I have no idea. So that's it. Oh, I do remember. Hopefully soon I'll have a series of blogs coming out on the Sermon on the Mount. I've been reading it for like 6 weeks, just the Sermon on the Mount for like 6 weeks, because it's so good, and I haven't posted a blog in a while, so hopefully I'll start doing that soon. I've been kind of like reading it and writing notes and all that stuff for a little while, and I wanted to start doing this series, so hopefully in a week or two that'll come out, and I'll post those up soon, hopefully about a week. That's what I'm hoping for. So again, check out the podcast that I've been editing with Parker Hills. Right now on YouTube, the interview with Ralph Whitlock is up. If you don't know Ralph Whitlock, he's an awesome guy, World War II vet. He's got a lot of cool stories. And coming soon is the interview with Pete Dunne. I'm not the interviewer, I'm just the editor. But yeah, Pete Dunne, so that should be cool. He's got a lot of cool stories too and cool insights and everything. So be looking for those. I'll post a link in the page. Maybe I'll just pin a comment on this video. So be praying. I miss y'all. I can't wait to be cold. Like a real cold, not an artificial AC cold. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully rainy season starts soon. Pray for rainy season. We've had rain for the past 2 days and it's been amazing. There was a day a couple weeks ago where it was like mid to upper 80s all day and it was amazing. So be praying for that too. We could use a break. That's all. Miss you guys. Hope I see you guys soon. Hope someone comes and visits when you don't need the negative test. We'd love to have you out here. Love to see everyone. But yeah, we'll see you guys soon.